unemployment is really 55 million.
Ben!
Tories uncover plans for Liverpool's future.
Ben!
And earthquake in Guatemala. Thatcher responsible.
Good evening. Tonight's completely unbiased news is dominated by the Prime Minister's sadistic speech in Sussex this morning.
Then after that, we could publicly disembowel Arthur's cargo. As far as the elderly are concerned, I think we should burn the bastards. Then we could use them as coal, and we wouldn't need the miners act on Schweinhunds.
Conclusive proof emerged today that a victory for the Labour Party would ensure full employment, rape to be illegal, a massive rise in the standard of living, no wild election promises and a decent England football team, all within 4 days at the outside.
The miners' strike. Hooray for the miners who are on strike. But now, here's Len Murray.
Good evening. Here is the weather. Mrs. Thatcher, it appears, was responsible for ending the warm spell, which we all were enjoying so very much. She was also to blame for the rotten weather which followed, including the storms which killed hundreds of people. But now let's move on to the weather picture under the next Labour government. And as you can see, lots of lovely weather with everybody having fun and everything just hunky-dory.
And finally, on a lighter note, the amusing story of Mrs. Thatcher's varicose veins. Apparently, they're giving her hell. Good night. By the way, did you actually see her varicose veins?
Have you got the 5-din jack for the Reeboks?
Oh, we saw that out in the sound check.
Who's mixing?
63.
Oh, oi! Oi, have you got a pass?
You don't understand. I'm Robert Rantzen.
Look, mate, I don't care if you're the Archbishop of Canterbury. Have you got a pass?
My dear.
Hey, Rantzen, my main man. What's happening, baby?
Your Holiness, I've come to ask you the eternal question.
Go, man.
How could I become a superstar too?
Well, listen, baby. First thing you gotta do is speak slowly. Dig this.
Speak slowly.
Cute, huh?
Slowly.
That's it, baby. You got to hustle.
Hustle?
Yeah, man. You think I was the only cat in the bat who wanted to be the big man? No way, Jay. You gotta kick yourself some butt. You gotta get hip to the coast. You see what I'm saying?
But I am hip. I revised the Common Prayer book, made it more accessible.
No, baby. Listen, you got to get out of your church and into the car. You got to gig, man. Say, listen, I'm on. We'll take lunch, all right? Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, the right from Rome. Here it is, the one and only John Paul Dole.
God bless you all.
I'm from the Jehovah's Witnesses. Do you believe God is your saviour?
No, I'm Sylvie.
Oh.
Come with me on a journey to the far edges of reality, to the twilight world of the unknown, to the world of the Shadow Cabinet.
Quiet, please! Thank you. The thing is this, lads. The public don't know us.
Who's that? Ken Livingstone. We've got to plough more money into our publicity machine. Roy, how much is in the fund?
£25, 19 drachmas, and an Everton mint.
What?
Where's the rest? Spend the rest on the saturation publicity campaign.
The what? I didn't notice that.
Are you mad, Neil? It was in every newsagent shop window in Ealing.
Right. We'd better crack open our secret emergency fund.
No. We've used that.
What? You've looked down the back of the city?
Yes, we did that Thursday.
And?
We had to sell both the biros and the forks.
Hey, not the forks.
The forks?
And we've still got the pink comb with fur in it.
All right then. What sort of PR company could we hire for £25, 19 drachmas, an Everton mint, and a pink comb with fur in it?
There's only one who'd do it for that kind of outlay.
Who's that?
The one we've got already.
Okay, that's settled then. Which brings us on now to their latest plan for us, the herpes-flavoured manifesto.
Right, scum! Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, me, please.
Well?
Why do we pay a police constable who's just started more than we pay a ward sister?
Tell him, Norman!
Yes, leader. Foul pest. When were you last in an NHS hospital for, let's say, concussion or double concussion?
Never. I've got private health care.
Exactly moi. Now, when did you last cause a near riot by depriving the NHS of nurses and doctors and extra funds?
I do that all the time.
Exactly moi. Ergo, you need police protection.
You mean we pay the police a high salary to protect us from the people we take the money from to pay the police a high salary?
Yes.
Don't the nurses mind?
Of course they do. If they didn't mind, it wouldn't be any fun, would it?
Anyone see the opener? I really...
Right. I now declare open this meeting of the Social Democratic Party's Shadow Cabinet. Damn it. Go and see who that is, Roy.
Oh, for God's sake, I've been waiting 20 minutes to use this phone. Somebody's dying out there.
They're
Thank you.
Hello again. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Wilcox of Richmond, who sent us this cutting from his local paper.
Hot cross buns, 6p.
As well as this naughty carrot that looks like a penis. But now, on to dying people. This week we've had literally thousands and thousands of letters from a Mr. Hardy in Kent, who writes...
Dear, that's life and death. Please, 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 please. How is that little girl you're collecting livers for? P.S. Here's mine.
Well, Mr. Hardy and everyone like him, you can stop sending in your livers now because we've got all the ratings we need. In fact, this many. 17 million people are actually watching at this moment. And thanks to them, the little girl is getting better. But we have decided to get another pet for the programme, a different little girl who sadly hasn't got a head. And thanks to you, she's going to live for another fortnight at most. What she needs now, what she really needs, is a complete set of internal organs. In fact, her body's completely empty. And she hasn't got any arms or legs, either. In fact, she didn't even exist until we made her out of the bits of body you sent in last time. Oh, come on. Come on, surely you don't think that's too sick? Well, that's it, I'm going!
And now, here is Rubber News, read by Sachi and Sachi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First tonight, the two Czech diplomats who were thrown out of the country. In a tit-for-tat exchange, the Soviets have thrown two more British businessmen out of the window.
Royals,
And Prince Andrew has denied his alleged affair with international tramp Vicky Hodge. He blames it on Willie Hamilton, who he says has often had it in for the royals.
Mad people? And following the revelation that the Ayatollah sends 12-year-old boys into battle, Britt Ekland has gone to Iran to entertain the troops.
You may be surprised to learn that much of the technology for the space program came from Scotland. Here are some other things that also came from Scotland. Bagpipes, Jimmy Shand, the Bloody White Heather Club, Dr. Finlay, red pubic hair, drunks who tell you their life story and you have to nod politely because you can't understand them. Lulu, that really horrible Dundee cake, Partick Thistle, Moira Anderson, a monster that doesn't exist, wee-wee on the floors of trains, and lots of silly dancing. Scotland, not far from London, not far enough.
This public information film was made on behalf of the Welsh Tourist Board, isn't it?
Hello. I'm talking to one of the great has-beens of the Labour Party, Dennis Healy.
Hello.
Mr. Healy, you're past it as far as politics is concerned, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
But that's not to say that that razor-sharp mind of yours is being left unused.
Certainly not. I've been cataloguing my snapshots.
Of course you have. And you're going to show them to us tonight, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. Unless, of course, you'd like me to say something about Tony Benn being an octomaniac and Neil Kinnock a moderately stupid backbench type.
No, none of that, thanks.
Right. Well, here's the first one. This is Thatcher after the set. She's changed her image. And this is her before.
Oh, they advised her to trim her fur, did they?
Yes. Removed her pouch, taught her to walk upright and weaned her off bananas.
And this one's your first budget in 1976.
Yes. And this is my second budget in 76, my third budget in 76, my fourth...
You had a lot of budgets in 76, didn't you, Mr. Healy?
Not really, no. Here's one of Sir Geoffrey Howe's first budget. Hadn't quite got the hang of it at this stage. Here's his second.
That's the one he left on the tube, isn't it?
Yes. Here's one of my finger.
So really, Dennis, you're just an untalented amateur whose pictures only get shown because you were once a rather rude politician.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, Mr. Healy. And may I say how lovely your garden's looking?
You don't mind all this dandruff, then?
No, I like it.
Oh.
Now, first up on the picture board, it's Willie Caster's choice.
Number 6, please, David.
Bless you, Willie. Go over the end of cold. Any ideas, Willie? It's really very straightforward. Can you see the picture? Oh, by the way, you can confer. No? Well, I'll give you a point for giggling. The answer was Shergar. The legendary horse. Now on to the next round, which of course is what happened next. Now then, here's a clip from the 1976 World Chess Tournament between Boris Baby and Smirslov. What happened next? Now then, short answers for 10 points. Would someone like to bang their fist on the desk and say in exasperation, I know it, I know it, I know it. No, it's gone. All within 10 seconds.
I know it, I know it, I know it.
I'll have to hurry you.
No, it's gone.
Well done! 10 points. Remarkable. This is, in fact, what happened. Of course, they got married. So, Willie's team again. Look at this. What happened next? Any ideas, Willie?
It was 1976, and it was Newmarket.
We all know where, and we all know when, but the vital question is, what happened next?
They got married?
No. This, of course, was the legendary occasion when a lion ran onto the course, of course. Remarkable. And now, short asses, have a look at this clip. What, as ever, happened next?
The President's brain as Mustang. Since last week, through a series of amazing adventures, which for reasons of security cannot be divulged for 30 years, the President's brain is now on a walking tour of the Ukraine.
Ed, look. I got all the balls into the clown's face. That'll show those people who call me an asshole.
Holy moly. Mr. President, have you seen the papers today? Read this.
Oh, terrible, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Awful.
Yep.
What's that word there, Ed?
The peppermint spurn.
Holy lobotomy. I gotta get this man another brain.
Over there, send the word, send the word.
Holy Moses, I'm the President of the United States. What the hell am I doing eating grass when the merchandise trade deficit has jumped to $10.3 billion? What do you say, Ed?
I don't think so. Here, try this one, Mr. President.
Cheers, Ed.
Yeah. Maybe too small.
Passport, please.
Will this take long?
Seems to be in order. You can go.
My fellow Americans, I understand there are rumors that something funny is going on in the White House. This is not the case. I've known Ed Meese for many years, and I consider him, and he is.
Don't miss the next exciting episode of
Criminal Libel, the show that tells the truth. Your presenter, Harold, angry person.
Tonight, as it becomes increasingly clear that Mrs. Thatcher
Conservative
is mad, the question is, who will snatch power from Thatch? These were the shocking results of our poll.
Norman Debbitt,
Conservative
213 votes.
1, because being one of the undead, he will live forever and thus give real continuity to future Conservative policies. 2, because he's as common as muck and will attract the working class vote. 3, because he's a mean bastard and people like being smacked around the bits. Second favourite was
Mark Two-Face Thatcher.
Conservative
3 votes.
1, because of his good business sense. 2, because it was no more absurd than that chap with big ears taking over as king. 3, because I'm her son. And last came the Foreign Secretary.
Sir Geoffrey Howe.
Conservative
2 votes.
Because he looks like an owl. And owls are meant to be very wise indeed. Finally, of course, we asked the Prime Minister herself who was her most likely successor. Mrs. Thatcher!
Conservative.
Why are you bald?
How dare you! I don't take that from black people!
A typically evasive answer! I asked her again! Who will be your successor?
There won't be any successors providing I keep Michael Heseltine
Conservative
as Minister of Defence.
Right! That's it!
Criminal Libel, the show that brings you the truth.
For heaven's sake, can't you get anything right?
There's no need to bloody shout.
Hello, Mr. Scargill. What a nice day it is.
I refuse to discuss that, Mr. McGregor.
Well, how about good morning?
I refuse to involve myself in any discussion regarding the well-being or otherwise of the morning.
Well, is there any form of greeting that you'd be willing to discuss?
None whatsoever.
Well, in that case, let's get straight down to business. Now, pit closures.
I'm sorry, I can't discuss pit closures.
Well, what about pay offers?
No.
Well, okay, in that case, flying pickets?
Out of the question.
Strike ballot?
Not on the agenda.
Mines in general?
Sorry.
Well, any aspect of mining whatsoever?
I shouldn't think so.
Hats? Miners' hats?
Never.
Coal? Any discussion relating to the subject of C-O-A-L, coal, however loosely?
No.
The history of coal, perhaps? Coal through the ages? The Davy lamp?
Oh, well, the Davy lamp. Perhaps a brief discussion about the Davy lamp. Certainly. Certainly. Of course, it was Davy Jones who invented it.
Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Scargill. He was the one with the locker. Sir Hubert Davy invented the Davy lamp.
It was Davy Jones.
Sir Hubert Davy.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm afraid negotiations will have to stop there.
And so, unfortunately, negotiations seem to have broken down. But we've just heard that tomorrow they have agreed to discuss the role of the cufflink in the history of the British Navy. And by the way, the Davy lamp, of course, was invented by Sir Humphrey Davy.
Here's a newsflash. Now we're going over live to Alistair Burnett in the war zone.
Here on the front line, somewhere between the cocktail bar and the kitchen, fighting has again broken out between the rival forces of Viscount Althorpe and the Italian-backed restaurant staff. The noise is extraordinary. The buns have been going off all night long, and now they're sending in the plates again. 56 went over this morning, and the waiters claimed they got 4 of them, but the Viscount claims all 56 were destroyed. It was the early hours of yesterday morning when the transporters arrived. Wave after wave of Gove GTIs unloading scores of Sloan Gits. They yomped all the way up to Fulham Road and led the first assault on Mario's in what became known as the battle for the goose pâté.
And
I've been hit! I've been hit by a French-made chicken leg and a side salad. Oh my God, it needs dressing! And as a lurid glow of blazing, Tony Blackburn lights up the night sky. This is Sir Alistair Burnett with Viscount Althorp's forces, Rubber News.
Sunday, the 27th day of May, the year of our Lord, 1907. Today I arose early, breakfasted lightly, and perfected my flower arrangement from the previous day. Then Jemima called. Without further ado, we got on with the mud dressing.